Hey guys, this is Kyle and we are going to be doing a water effect portrait today. It's kind of a photo manipulation what we're going to be doing. We're going to be getting this original photo. I'll show you the original photo. We're going to be changing this photo here and changing it into this actual image here. I quite like this one. I found a tutorial on YouTube that was like this, but it was in Italian, so I struggled really to grasp it and stuff like that. I have used his images, so I will be, obviously giving credit to him and stuff like that. I'm using his images. The main reason why I'm going to be doing this tutorial is because when I seen the actual guy's video, there's a couple people that were struggling following it because it was in Italian. So I've decided to make him, decided to make it myself, kind of thing. I don't think, it's not copyrighted or anything like that, so I can do it if I want to, and I will. So it's going to be a bit more easier on you guys because it's in English, and hopefully it should be all good. But anyway, so it's going to be a quick tutorial really. I want to try and make it quick and snappy. Don't really want to be hanging around too much, so we are going to go ahead and go and File, Open, and drag open all of these images that you should be able to download in the description. Now 5 of them are water effects, and you've got the main image that we're going to be editing as well. So drag and drop all of these into Photoshop. I'm using CS5 at the moment. On the main image here, this is the one we're going to be editing. What we want to go ahead and do is drag the background to make a new layer as a copy, zoom in, and use the pen tool to go around her neck and her face. Start here. This doesn't really need to be very accurate. It's just generally just to make that outline of a face. There we go. Again, you don't have to concentrate on their ears because we're going to be rubbing them out later on. Bit of a misclick there. Go around their forehead. Now we are going to be going round her hair here because obviously we don't need it. That's just going to add to the shape of the face really. There we go. Going to go around here again. There we go. And go around here. I'm going to again make this a straight line because it's just to enhance the neck. And go around here like so. Go around off the image and join the two ends up. Now what we're going to go ahead and do now is press right click, make selection, make sure the feather radius is at 0 pixels. There we go. And then what we want to go ahead and do now is make a mask layer. Now you can make the background layer invisible, so you're only left with this. So what you're going to go ahead and do now is make sure you click on the mask layer, go on the paintbrush tool, make sure the foreground colour is black, and we are going to be erasing around the neck, around the neckline, or around the shoulder line right here, keeping the neck exactly enhanced and make sure it's all the same, really sharp corners there, rubbing out her ears here, again feathering around the outline of her forehead. Keeping all this the same, again, really sharp, and rubbing out her other ear here. And again, her neck and shoulder area we're going to be rubbing out as well. So what you're going to be left with is this image right here. So what you're going to go ahead and do now is, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and click on the main image here, press Ctrl U, and make sure the saturation is at minus about 63. There we go. That's basically just to draw the colour out of the image to make it a bit more easier to edit later on. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is go Ctrl B, make sure this is at minus 100, make sure this is at 0, and keep this at about 64. That's to make it a bit more blue and aqua effect. So now we're going to go ahead and make a new layer, make sure it's underneath the main layer we are editing so far, get the paint bucket tool and change the colour to a really light blue, and there we go. So now that's our background. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is go to our first JPEG image that you should have dropped in. Go ahead and press Control A, Control C, Control W, and Control V. Again, that's Control A, Control C, Control W, and Control V. That's basically just to close, copy, and paste the image. So what we're going to go ahead and do now, you've pasted it on here. Go ahead and drop it right in front of the image. The main image there. Change the effect to multiply and change the size of it. Now this is going to be your neckline. There's a couple images here that's basically for the neckline. You can spend more time on this. I'm literally just going to do this quickly. Make sure it's about there. Make sure it's kind of grasping a neckline here. A bit more curvature with the face, really. This bit here. Go and make sure you've clicked OK. Or the tick, create a mask, press the paintbrush tool, make sure it's black, and erase the water on her face, like so. There we go, almost done. There we go. So that's what you should be left with so far. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is go ahead and go on to the smudge tool. Make sure the mode is normal, strength is about 96%, and make sure the brush is 150 pixels. We're going to go ahead and make sure you've clicked on the actual image, not the mask, and drag and make it a bit more wavy effect on both sides of the water effect. That's mainly just to make the water a bit more enhanced and to expand the water she's in. She's like dipping her head out of the water. That's basically the effect I'm hoping for. So that's pretty much what I've done there. So what we're going to go ahead and do now, go on to the second JPEG image. This is a PNG actually. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is press Control A, Control C, Control W. Nope, and Control V. Once again, that's Control A, Control C, Control W, and Control V. Again, that's just to copy, close, and paste the image. So now you've got the image here. We're going to press Shift and drag it down to a good size. Now this is going to be the main hair of her face. So we're going to just again tick there. Make sure it goes behind her head, just above layer 1 or the background image, and give it a good, make sure it's the right kind of shape. Really, that's the main kind of effect of this whole photo manipulation, is to make sure it looks like hair, because that's what the main thing is. Really, you want to try and make sure that as soon as you look at the photo, the hair, you can immediately know that the water is meant to be the hair. To do what I'm doing here, you just got to click this little button here next to the cancel button. It basically sections up the image that you can edit one by one sections. Really, it's kind of a good thing to have, or a good thing to use. So I think that's all right for me. I'm going to go ahead and tick that. Kind of looks like hair now, so that's all good. And what we're going to go ahead and do now is press Control B, and we're going to make sure this is at -100 to make it more blue, and make the last one here 80, again to make it more blue, but a bit darker blue than the face. What we're going to go ahead and do now is make sure this is masked even. Press the paintbrush tool, make sure it's black, and we can erase some of the merged bits of the two water effects. There we go. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is go on to the third JPEG image. Make sure this is properly the way I want it. I'll make this a bit bigger. There we go. I'm not really too happy with it. I'll just edit it a bit. That's the glory of this. The glory of it is you can edit whenever you want. There we go. Sweet. So again, go on to the third JPEG image, press Control A, Control C, Control W, and Control V. Make sure you put this right at the top. Make sure the image is multiply, the effect. And again, you can press Shift and make it smaller. What you want to do now is make sure you rotate this about 150 degrees and make the effect merge onto the face right there. Press OK. Now what you want to do is, because this bit of the hair is a bit more sticky out, what we're going to go ahead and do the lasso tool, go around this part of the hair, the water right here, and change the shape of it straight away. And press OK. Press select, not inverse, select, deselect even. There we go. So now we've got the shape of a face quite well, and I think that looks quite good, so I'm going to keep that the same. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is go on to the fourth JPEG image, and we are only going to be lasso the right part of the image, as you can see right here, only the right part. Press Ctrl C, Ctrl W, Ctrl V, make sure it's the top layer, and make the effect multiply once again. Now this is going to be the left side of the hair. Make sure it's the right size by shrinking it slightly. We're using Shift. There we go. Now what you want to go ahead and do is, you can, again change the shape of this however you want. There we go, tick that. Now what we're going to do is mask these two layers, and we are going to go ahead and erase using the brush and black colour to merge the two layers together like before. Make sure they are the right size. There we go. They're merged together quite well. I'm really happy with that. Now you can erase the water off her face to make it a bit better really, and again with this we're just going to wipe the water off her eyeball. And there we go. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do now is I'm just going to go straight back to this image right here. I just spotted this right here. I'm not really happy with that. There we go. So basically what we're going to go ahead and do now is go around and go onto the fifth JPEG and final image. Make sure you go to the lasso tool and only use this part of the image here. Go around it, press Ctrl C, Ctrl W, Ctrl V, press, move it and then change it to multiply once again, and you can rotate the image like so, and then change the size of it and drop it right here to merge the two affected layers. You can change the shape of it using this block tool again. It looks alright to me, and click OK. Now you can again make a mask and delete the parts where you think stand out a bit too much. There we go. So what we're going to go ahead and do now, I might actually rotate that to make it more visible on a face here. There we go, that's better. There we go. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is go ahead and go onto the original face. There we go. Make sure you're on the actual face. Go Control U. Make sure the saturation is at -38. Press OK. Go Control B. Make sure it's at -100, 0 and 75. Make sure it's all mid-tones and click OK. Now what you want to go ahead and do is go onto the main hair right here. Make sure you click on the proper image, and go ahead and press Control L. and what we're going to go ahead and do is make sure this is at 0. This is at 0.84, and this is still at 255, and click OK. Next you want to go ahead and do is go up to the next layer up, press Ctrl B, make sure that is at -74, well that's at 0, and this one is at 62, and click OK. The next layer up, we are going to go ahead and press Ctrl L, make sure this is at 54, make sure this is at 1 like so, and this is at 255. Next one, we are going to go ahead and go on to the next layer up again, press Ctrl L, make sure this is at 37, make sure this is at 1, and this is at 255. Same layer, we're going to go and press Ctrl B, make sure this is at -80, -80, this is 0, and this is at 38, and press OK. Next layer up, we are going to go ahead and press Ctrl L, make sure this is at about 53, this is at 0.81, and that's at 255. There we go. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is highlight the all the merge layers like so, press Ctrl and merge all of the layers together, and then when you're on the main layer right at the end, press Ctrl L, make sure this is at 24, this is at 1.4, and that's at 255, click OK, and you are finally finished. This is the final image of what the image concerns. Now basically you've gone from this image right here to the water affected image here. Now I'm hoping that this tutorial was alright for you. Hopefully you followed it correctly. If you have any questions, leave in the comments below. If you wanted to share your images, just go ahead and message me and send me the images, and I'll put them up on my website, voxfoxdesign.co.uk. and hopefully guys you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you guys understood it a lot more if you're English and you prefer English tutorials. And yeah guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.